I've seen it time and time again. Couples come on my show, each pointing the finger at the other, wondering where it all went wrong. They started out so in love, couldn't keep their hands off each other, and now they can't even stand to be in the same room. The truth is, relationships take work, they take commitment, and they take understanding. In this video, we're going to dive deep into the common pitfalls that can drive a wedge between couples. We're going to pull back the curtain and expose the raw, uncomfortable truths that nobody wants to talk about. But trust me, facing these issues head-on is the only way to build a truly strong, lasting connection with your partner. So buckle up because this is going to be a bumpy ride. Let me tell you something, folks. Communication is the cornerstone of any successful relationship. It's the bridge that connects two people, allows them to share their thoughts, their dreams, their fears. When that bridge crumbles, you're left stranded on opposite sides, unable to understand each other. You see, it's not just about talking, it's about truly listening, about hearing the words your partner isn't saying. It's about paying attention to their body language, to the subtle cues that reveal their true emotions. Ignoring these signs is a surefire way to create a breeding ground for resentment and misunderstanding. And let's be clear, communication isn't always about agreeing. It's about expressing your needs and desires openly and honestly, even when it's difficult. It's about being vulnerable, letting your guard down, and allowing your partner to see the real you. Because when you hide your true self, you create distance, and that distance can be impossible to bridge. Remember, folks, silence isn't golden in a relationship. It's a breeding ground for doubt, suspicion, and ultimately, heartbreak. Don't let your communication crumble. Rebuild that bridge, brick by brick, with every honest conversation, every heartfelt apology, every moment of genuine connection. We live in a fast-paced world, constantly bombarded with distractions, work, kids, social media. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle, to let the demands of life overshadow the things that truly matter. But here's the cold, hard truth. You can't build a lasting relationship on autopilot. You see, quality time isn't just about being in the same room, it's about being present, engaged, fully invested in your partner. It's about putting down your phone, turning off the TV, and giving them your undivided attention. It's about creating memories, sharing experiences, and making each other a priority. Now, I understand that life gets busy, but that's no excuse to neglect your relationship. You make time for the things that are important to you. You go to the gym, you meet deadlines, you watch your favorite shows. So why is it so hard to carve out time for the person you supposedly love? Make date nights a regular occurrence, even if it's just a simple dinner at home. Plan a weekend getaway, just the two of you. Put aside 30 minutes every day to just talk, to reconnect, to remind each other why you fell in love in the first place. Remember, time is a precious commodity. Don't waste it on distractions and empty promises. Invest it in your relationship and watch it flourish. Let me tell you something, folks. Conflict is a natural part of any relationship. It's impossible to agree on everything all the time, but it's how you handle conflict that determines the strength and longevity of your bond. Ignoring problems, pretending they don't exist, is like ignoring a small leak in a dam. Eventually, it's going to burst, and the damage will be catastrophic. When you sweep issues under the rug, resentment festers. It simmers beneath the surface, poisoning your interactions, eroding the foundation of trust you've built. You might think you're keeping the peace, but in reality, you're creating a ticking time bomb. So how do you address conflict constructively? First and foremost, check your ego at the door. This isn't about winning or losing, it's about finding a solution that works for both of you. Listen to your partner's perspective, try to understand where they're coming from, even if you don't agree. Remember, communication is key. Express your feelings clearly and calmly, using I statements to avoid placing blame. Focus on finding common ground, on reaching a compromise that respects both of your needs. And most importantly, don't let anger and resentment fester. Address issues as they arise before they escalate into major blowouts. A lot of couples come into my office with these grand ideas about what a relationship should look like. They've got these preconceived notions about roles, responsibilities, and expectations, often based on what they've seen in movies or, worse, their parents' dysfunctional relationships. But here's the thing, every relationship is unique. What works for one couple might be a recipe for disaster for another. Expecting your partner to fulfill some idealized image in your head is a surefire way to set yourselves up for disappointment. The key is to communicate your expectations openly and honestly from the get-go. Don't assume your partner knows what you're thinking or feeling. Talk about your needs, your desires, your deal breakers, and listen, really listen, when your partner does the same. Now, it's important to remember that compromise is crucial. You're not always going to see eye to eye, and that's okay. The goal is to find a middle ground, a place where both of you feel heard, respected, and valued, and be willing to adjust your expectations as your relationship evolves. People change, circumstances change, and your relationship needs to be flexible enough to adapt. You know, physical intimacy is important in a relationship, but it's the emotional intimacy that truly binds two souls together. It's the deep, unspoken connection, the feeling of being seen, heard, and understood on a soul level. When that emotional intimacy fades, you're left with a hollow shell of a relationship, going through the motions without truly connecting. Emotional distance can creep in slowly, often unnoticed until the gap has widened into a chasm. It might start with a lack of communication, a reluctance to share your deepest thoughts and feelings. Maybe you stop making time for each other, prioritizing work, hobbies, or other relationships over your partner. Over time, that distance can lead to feelings of loneliness, resentment, and isolation, even when you're physically together. You start to feel like strangers living separate lives, your emotional needs unmet, your heart's yearning for connection. Now, rebuilding emotional intimacy takes time, effort, and a willingness to be vulnerable. It requires you to open your heart, to share your fears and insecurities, and to truly listen to your partner without judgment. Make an effort to reconnect on a deeper level. Have those late-night conversations, share your dreams and aspirations, and revisit the things that brought you joy in the early days of your relationship. You know, life can be tough. We all face challenges, setbacks, and moments of self-doubt. In those moments, having a supportive partner by your side can make all the difference. A true partner is your biggest cheerleader, your confidant, your rock in the storm. When you feel supported, you're more likely to take risks, to pursue your dreams, and to navigate life's challenges with confidence. Knowing that you have someone in your corner, someone who believes in you unconditionally, can give you the strength to overcome any obstacle. On the other hand, a lack of support can be incredibly damaging to a relationship. When you feel constantly criticized, belittled, or unsupported by your partner, it can erode your self-esteem and create a sense of resentment. Support can manifest in many ways. It's about being there for your partner, both emotionally and practically, through thick and thin. It's about celebrating their successes, offering comfort during difficult times, and being a source of encouragement when they're feeling down. So make an effort to be more supportive in your relationship. Listen attentively when your partner is talking about their goals and aspirations. Offer words of encouragement and praise. Celebrate their achievements, no matter how small. And when they stumble, be there to pick them up, dust them off, and remind them of their strength. We all have needs in relationships. These needs can be emotional, physical, or psychological. They're the fundamental things we require to feel loved, valued, and fulfilled in our partnerships. When these needs go unmet, it can create a breeding ground for resentment, frustration, and ultimately, the downfall of the relationship. Think of it like this. Unmet needs are like cracks in the foundation of your relationship. At first, they might seem small, insignificant, but over time these cracks can widen and deepen, threatening the integrity of the entire structure. Now, identifying your needs is the first step. What are the things that are essential for you to feel loved and fulfilled in a relationship? Is it quality time, words of affirmation, physical touch? Once you understand your own needs, you can communicate them clearly and effectively to your partner. Remember, your partner isn't a mind reader. They can't possibly know what you need unless you tell them. And don't be afraid to ask for what you need. It's not selfish. It's about prioritizing your own emotional well-being within the context of the relationship. Of course, meeting each other's needs should be a two-way street. Just as you have needs, so does your partner. Make an effort to understand their needs and to meet them in a way that feels genuine and fulfilling for both of you. You know, in the honeymoon phase of a relationship, everything is new and exciting. The butterflies are fluttering, the passion is intense, and you can't keep your hands off each other. But as time goes by, that initial spark can start to fade. The routines of daily life, the stresses of work and family, and the comfort of familiarity can all contribute to a sense of monotony. But here's the thing, Maintaining a passionate, fulfilling relationship over the long haul requires effort, creativity, and a willingness to keep things fresh. It's about making a conscious choice to prioritize romance, to fan the flames of desire, and to remind each other why you fell in love in the first place. So, how do you keep the spark alive? Well, start by making time for each other, even if it's just for a few minutes each day. Put down your phones, turn off the TV, and really connect. Talk to each other, listen to each other, and make an effort to understand and appreciate your partner's perspective. Don't be afraid to try new things together. Go on adventures, explore new hobbies, and step outside of your comfort zones. Novelty and excitement are essential for keeping the spark alive. And remember, physical intimacy is important too. Make an effort to maintain a healthy and satisfying sex life. Communicate your desires openly and honestly, and be willing to experiment and try new things together. So there you have it, folks, a glimpse into the common pitfalls that can sabotage even the strongest relationships. But remember, awareness is the first step towards change. By understanding these pitfalls, by facing them head-on with honesty and courage, you can build a stronger, more resilient bond with your partner. Remember, relationships take work, but the rewards of a deep, loving connection are immeasurable. Don't settle for a mediocre relationship. Fight for the love you deserve. Communicate, connect, and never stop growing together.